Pull that out of Portland, yeah, like the day before.
Call to order of Myrtle Creek City Council regular council meeting for January 6, 2026. Roll call, please.
Mayor Luke Dillon.
Here.
Councilor Robert Cheney.
Here.
Councilor Jamie McElmurray.
Here.
Councilor Kathy Brad.
Here.
Councilor Diana Larson.
Here.
Councilor Rick Hell.
Here. All stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, selection of council presidents.
I'd nominate, Bob Cheney.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
No, I abstain.
No.
Was the second?
Rick.
Rick. Okay.
Yeah. Real quick for all those who are here, we're going to be going into a couple different executive sessions, so you will have to leave during that time. And I think maybe some of you are here for city administrator. That's kind of at the end. We'll be talking just so you guys know. So be aware of that. So if you are planning on talking, you'll be able to talk during that time that we have opened it up for that. But it's going to be kind of, I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get to that point, just so you guys know, right? It's going to make you best aware. Code presentations, none. Because these comment cards are for regular agenda, I'm gonna use those during that time. You guys can speak on the regular agenda time.
I have two items on my mobile phone feed before that time.
Well, our charter changes for our resolution, you want what? Did you want to not talk during that time? Because we're talking, the resolution is for the charter change.
Okay, yeah, as long as they're both.
Yeah, oh yeah, you'll be able to. Citizens, so we'll skip that one. Citizens are not agenda, we'll skip that. Consent agenda. Approval of minutes for regular city council meeting for December 2nd, 2025.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting for December 2nd, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Make sure I read the right one. All right, city council will now meet in executive session for the purpose of conducting deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry out labor negotiations. The executive session will be held pursuant to ORS 192.6602D. Representatives of the news, media, and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session only after approval of the council. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives-
Well, they're those
So-
representatives.
Well, then one at a time. We're gonna go first.
Yeah, the representatives of non-state.
Which one are we gonna do first?
We are going to do the police first.
And do you want Zach and I to stay since we're in the city side of it, or do you want
Yes.
Zach?
Yes, you guys stay together.
So
See you later.
This is what we're doing first, it doesn't matter.
Where is it at?
Well,
Well, that's it for the regular agenda. Yeah. Representatives of the news media, everybody left. Representatives of the news media shall not stay or specifically directed not to report
that,
on any other deliberations during the
because I
executive
don't
session.
believe, when we are going into negotiations from our side with our negotiator, that the negotiator from the other side is allowed to sit in.
I guess it would just be whatever council wants.
I don't
So
believe that is, I don't believe they're allowed to do that. That's why we have a negotiator.
Okay,
So then,
No, the negotiator.
oh,
Should I stay or should I go? I would prefer that, that's me, but I would prefer that we have just our negotiator in the room as we're discussing this.
The other can't leave.
Well, that was the point, so, I mean, that's fine, but the point was to, yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
And I'll stick around to answer any questions that anyone has afterwards.
Yeah, because we can,
Because what we're doing is we're hearing from
Yeah.
Zach as to what Y'all welcome, come back in.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Give me another 5 years. Not sustainable.
City council met in executive session to discuss matters under ORS 192.6602D. There were no decisions made by the council in executive session. And now we can reconvene the regular meeting of the city council. The time is 6:19.
So
And
you
there's-
would want to decide now if you want to go over that or you want to send them back to negotiations.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna send, in our discussion, we're sending back our, to go back to negotiations, a couple of items.
So what should we do them first, please?
Is that a motion that is required?
No, right now, so if you wanted, you could remove the items from the agenda as far as just saying you want your representatives to go back to the union representatives, and that doesn't require a motion, that's just saying, hey, take it back to them. The motion would be once both parties have hashed things out, and then they bring it in for it.
So, yeah, so we're those, no more discussion on that tonight. We will be going back into executive session. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys ready to go?
Yeah, you will.
So we don't have an opportunity to speak about the subject of the executive session number?
When they come back before they make a decision.
Should have spoke at the beginning, that was ridiculous.
For what?
You can
I don't want, so that's never done.
Yeah.
Can you close the door behind you, please? Thank you.
Huh?
Joanna's putting them out. What?
Joanne will need to come back. There she is.
You could let, the representatives know that they wanna leave, they can leave. Just so that they're not, if it,
Because
I think, okay,
cause they left, but like, we can let them know that we're doing that
one of
application.
these, one has a red stamp on it, that one. I must have left my folder out there. Okay, before you do anything, let me turn off the recording. Did you read the screen?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh,
Like I said, everything's up before you cut off, right?
yeah.
City council will now meet in executive session for the purpose of to consider the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent. The executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.6602A. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session only upon approval of the council. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media that will not stay are specifically directed not to report on any other deliberations during executive session except to state the general subject of the session previously announced. No discussion may be made, no decision may be made in that executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session and welcome to the respectful room. Time is 6:22.
Oh, wait a minute, we gotta go to another executive. Chrissy, we gotta have another one.
It's almost that.
Okay, talk before I go.
I'm just joking, I'm joking.
Oh, what's in the bathroom?
You wanna wait for them to, we can go there.
It's just one, John.
The city council met in executive session to discuss matters under ORS 192-660-2A. There were no decisions made by the council in the executive session. I am now reconvening the regular meeting of the city council. The time is 6:50.
I would like to make a motion to offer the position of city administrator to Zach Potter contingent upon the charter amendment passing in May.
My second motion.
Discussion prior to vote.
And that's when you-
Do we need to have more discussion or?
With that, well, let's ask them, with that said, does anybody still want to make their comments?
I do.
Okay. Concerning city administrator?
Well, I mean, I don't have to say everything about that, but I still want to make sure I have a chance for before you guys talk about the charter change.
Oh, yeah, that's.
That's later now.
That's next.
I guess on our discussion was that, it has to pass in May, which everybody knows. And, I guess if it doesn't pass, we're still an open
Spot at the
spot at the superintendent. So, and that's something you're gonna have to make a decision, but if it doesn't pass, you don't lose the job.
And if you're willing to move forward with this, then we will renegotiate the contract and everything as well, so.
That's good.
Wouldn't we have to sign a new contract for this another 6 months?
No, this will be a full-fledged contract,
We're off.
Okay. Okay.
With the contingency that knows it doesn't pass.
it gives him full administrative power,
and the background check.
Yes.
Does he need to do that before?
provided he wants to do
Or should he wait?
Well, he's got, the background process is gotta go, he'll accept the position and then we'll do background.
Yes, we'll do the vetting if he decides to move forward with that, that's.
Yeah.
But if the charter doesn't pass, that's all the point. Doing this.
We'll have it done anyways, but yeah, if the charter doesn't pass, then,
He's gone through it and everybody knows he's.
you know, and we go back to square one on the city administrator. So we need to make sure it's rolled out that the charter passes.
Yeah, and we wanted,
So-
obviously we wanted to pass because we're all in a job, so we're gonna do our best to promote that position, promote that. And we'll talk about the chart a little more in detail, but obviously we're going to do our best.
Should we hang on to these
You can't.
in case? But, yeah, I know.
Actually, he should be given back to the now.
They
should not be on the desk.
The charter passing.
The city
Do we
will.
want to keep the applications and not tell them that they're,
I
Not.
can just do an update letter.
yeah,
Depends on public information if they're.
keep them abreast that,
Doesn't pass, we should have done it again.
exactly. So rather than do that, hang on to those. And don't tell them.
No, I don't think that's what we
She's
want to
gonna
do, because if it doesn't pass, then it's gonna, if it doesn't pass, we go out again, and then everybody's gonna know you have to live in the city of Myrtle Creek or go apply.
Well, that's.
So there's a couple of
Because
those.
we originally had it out there with it. In the application or on the job description, whatever it was.
But yeah, they can.
That we would be changing that, you know,
So give them an update and let them know that we're,
The position's been filled
but
yeah,
the charter
I
passed.
get what you're from.
So they are welcome to reapply if the charter doesn't pass. All right. Cause we're all gonna be in the same boat again.
Start back over with one.
before I do that, John May, did you still want to speak or?
I was in the restroom, so I didn't hear the first part, so I'm guessing you guys are offering him the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
was part of this.
Yes, you're not. Okay.
I'm going. I'm gonna bring her a call over in the meeting. You sit here.
We see if we can pass that. That's the comments in there.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations. Real quick, we'll go to the park commission reappointments.
Have these two applicants that we have on there, has it been discussed with them what we are looking to do with the Parks Commission? And
They were given the packet that,
And I think they would both step up. Mark is really good about looking outside of pickleball. He looks at the entire park and other uses that can be done. They've been faithful in their attendance, so, my recommendation would be to reappoint Mark Pavlik and Jim Davies to the Park Commission.
Now, this Jim Davies, he was appointed to fill a vacancy?
No, they both served their full 3-year terms.
Well, that's what I thought, but he put down, he enjoyed his 2 years on the Parks Committee, it's a 3-year term.
So there must have been a vacancy then that he
That's what I'm saying,
filled.
so he filled the
So,
vacancy.
he must have
didn't-
filled.
He wasn't appointed.
well, he turned in an application, but he was filling. So all of the spots have dates that it's a rotating
Right.
cycle. And so when one spot becomes vacant because somebody leaves, we don't change the date that particular spot
Right.
term ends on.
I just don't know if he was that or if he thought it was a 2-year term, because it's a 3-year term.
You did check that he was applying for a 3-year term.
is it a conflict of interest for me to make a motion to approve them?
yeah, to do them individually.
The motion has them both together.
I put them both together.
I just, is it a conflict?
We've always approved them individually.
Individually, that's fine.
I make a motion to reappoint Jim Davies to the Myrtle Creek Park Commission to serve a 3-year term ending on December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any discussion with Jim? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I make a motion to reappoint Mark Pavlak to the Myrtle Creek Park Commission to serve 3-year terms ending on December 31st, 2028.
I'll second.
Any discussion on Mark? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. 2026 council goals selection. So typically in the past, we've always done the top
Yes.
voted
10 or 12.
10 and 12. Do we like the top 10 and 12?
It looks like there was pretty much cohesive opinion on most of the top.
Like something like the complete the replacement and repairs of the Leonard stormwater. I mean, that's something that
It's gonna wind up being.
it's a goal. But like it's something that's gonna be happening no matter what, like that's not really, in my mind, it's a different than a goal, but
It has to happen.
yeah, so I don't feel like that'll need to be on there. For our goals.
Mhm.
So then the only one that's,
Well, couldn't we put a couple of these together, like, do a security goal for the city and include the cameras and the security fencing around the police? All
I
under
would think
one
so.
goal,
the cameras aren't that expensive or that big of a deal.
put that all under one goal instead of breaking down the two.
think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I understand like
That can be done.
combining some.
The master plans you had mentioned combining.
Yeah. Yeah,
So combining it to say complete review of distribution and wastewater master plan. And combine them or review complete all master plans.
Like the idea of review and complete all master plans.
yeah.
I like that.
I mean, I know one of them is in a grant that's being done anyway, but still, like,
That's
That's
the
the parks plan, right?
the sewer, or
park, sewer,
sewer.
Parks is another master plan,
Yeah.
yeah.
but that was already, we already got that one. The sewer one that we're trying to get isn't a guarantee.
Yeah. But it's still one we have to complete no matter what.
Yes.
So, yeah,
We're still gonna get more money for it.
we just combine the, yeah, just complete master plans.
And the transportation master plan.
So if we combined them to all master plans, that would
Yeah.
distribution, wastewater and transportation are the three outstanding. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And, I had brought up the dog park with the upgrade to the skate park. I don't know, but maybe we'll keep.
One would have to
separate.
happen for the other.
Yeah, that was kind of one, that was, in my mind, it was one thing, I don't know, maybe you could separate the two, but there was, the idea was like looking at the skate
Yeah.
area. And would it make sense to move the dog park if we did that?
I agree.
I think that's a bigger project than we think it's gonna be.
Yeah. To move the dog park?
I mean, keep it on our goals, but it's.
Yeah.
That could be just an entire Maggie Steinbach Park upgrade, or just Steinbach Park upgrade. As far as combining the dog park and the skate park and heck, pool upgrades, that's all included in Steinbach Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
yeah.
But we may wanna keep them separate because we got goals in this way, because you're combine them all together, and you don't accomplish, you have to accomplish a goal, but if it's separated,
There's action step, there'd be action steps under each goal. Each one of those would be an action step.
I wouldn't mind seeing have security fencing around the police lot, along with, the existing cameras and, what we're doing down at the impound lot.
Yeah, the
'Cause
long.
I'll tell you, just after, was it today? Yes,
Yesterday.
I was in, just talking with Jonathan during that 20-minute period, there's two people just wandered right in the parking lot and within 3 feet of the patrol vehicles, we're looking at patrol vehicles and there's guns in them. And Tiger had to go out there and ask him, what are you doing?
The one guy was just walking his dog, the other guy was just staring at the cars and, you know, the guns are securely locked in those cars, but I had to have them running, all 4 cars running. They ran for like 3 hours because IT was having to do updates to our MDCs. And so the vehicles had to be running because the MDCs couldn't power down. And so if somebody would have broke the windows and knew what they were doing, they would have had access to me, so.
To the cars and the guns, that was kind of unnerving, it's like, they shouldn't be there. So that, I think, instead of 1X, I think we want to move that up with securing
Yeah.
the cameras and everything else.
Security issues throughout the city, you know, all facilities.
Mhm.
Well, circling back to the idea of like the park. Buying everything, you know, like, I mean, is the point of having a goal is have like, having such a general statement and have sub goals? Or to have each of those be its own goal?
Well, they're
So I guess that's.
action steps to complete the overall goal. Each one
Which
would
is
be an
part of
action.
the.
Smart
The
goals, yeah.
smart goals is breaking it down into achievable goals.
Right, but should the general goal, main goal be the achievable goal is what I'm, is what I'm asking, if that makes sense.
Time to share.
Or is it, are we having a general goal and having a bunch of action steps underneath it, but like,
Yeah.
it's really like, are we turning 3 goals into 1, but it's really 3 goals, like, you know, what I'm trying to.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
If we combine them, are they achievable?
Are they still achievable? But that's where your action steps come in.
Yeah. Or we would.
But if you break them down into have each one of those individually, then we've got 35 goals that we might accomplish 10 of.
those next steps then. I mean, if you guys have any other issues here, let me know, but the next steps. Will be just. There's nothing to do, is combine everything, we kind of reward it a little bit, and we'll just kind of come back to it in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Okay. I think this kind of. I mean, the biggest reason why we did this as early as we did is for Leslie, but you already have an idea, I think what's gonna be going moving forward, so I think. If we're good this.
That's
we
we
just not
have
gonna put you
it
behind.
combined and written up into SMART goals.
Yeah, yeah, okay. No action. Needed. Moving on, resolutions. A resolution of the City Council of City of Myrtle Creek, Oregon, approving a ballot title to be submitted to the voters at the May 19, 2026 primary election regarding an amendment to the city charter of the City of Myrtle Creek. I'll say something real quick, I mean, I'll just say, and then Chris, I'll let you just say what you have to say, and then we can just have a discussion on this. I mean, I know, Joanne has it in their zip code, but that was just kind of more of a placeholder, but we can talk about how we want to word that, if we want zip code, or I think everybody may have
Just
liked
a
zip code
placeholder.
originally, or do we want to have a mileage or radius or anything like that, so.
I think zip code makes,
Zip code.
makes it sound when it goes out to the voters that it's community.
Yeah.
It's our communities. We're not asking somebody 30 miles out of our community to be our city administrator, so I think the zip code.
And it covers from Parks Branch to Galley Road.
Yeah.
So it's quite a wide range if you still wanna live rural
Yes,
and but still be part of the community.
Chris, did you want to say what you want to say?
That's basically what I was gonna say. In the past couple months, as people have come in and talked to us about how things are going, this and that. That is one thing that has been brought up is they didn't like the idea of someone living too far away. But they liked the fact that they lived in our zip code, whether it be city limits. A lot of people didn't know the difference between city limits is and the community. They look at it as all of our community. So I feel like that is the best way to capture the majority of support is doing it as a community instead of too far away.
it makes it an easy identifier.
Is there any way that we can add anything like an explanation, like so many borders, like,
I mean,
They
if
do
you,
they have a voters pamphlet for a May election?
So
Because I know you get into-
they will, and I'll have to type up an explanatory statement, but Kathy, I have to also submit that into the elections department to have it challenged. And they are pretty rigorous that it can't be biased. I can't say, we really want you to do this to help us out.
okay.
And so, but I feel that the zip code
Yeah,
doesn't even need
Yeah.
any kind of a bias, that
Right.
people will really be happy that it's.
I was just thinking of people that would take the time to go,
Oh, to vote.
yeah, to look at and really examine the area and so.
So I do have to, on each ballot, there is a statement, a question, and an explanatory statement. That's why you're updating this. And so I can put in why we're updating it is in order to allow more freedom for the position of city administrator, for residency. And that's not biased, that's,
Yeah.
I just want to have an explanation so people understand why this is being presented at this time.
Yeah.
Cause I think anymore, most people read something, a change, they go, no.
Well, and they're suspicious as to why.
Very
So it's
suspicious,
just
yeah.
pretty benign that this is what we're doing.
well, and council on their own, aside from the voters pamphlet, and staff, you can share with people that come in, you can share with the people that you know, hey, this is coming up on the ballot. It's a really good idea. You can do that in your own capacity. Staff, you're not elected officials. You can be as biased as you want with anything. So that is something that you can share.
So I make a motion to approve resolution 26-01, a resolution of the city council of the city of Myrtle Creek, Oregon, approving a ballot title to be submitted to the voters at the May 19th, 2026 primary election regarding an amendment to the city charter of the city of Myrtle Creek. to specify the zip code? Do I need to specify that?
That's in the resolutions.
Okay,
I second.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, at one time we discussed, not doing just this portion of an amendment, but we'd also discussed doing generalities amendment, giving the council the right to waive some of these requirements without having to go back and amend charter every time we needed to. Are we still looking at that, or do we still want to look at
I
that?
think we did that, we had to pay twice, yet, right, you can't.
So if we wanted two subjects, we can. Roseburg recently did like 4 or 5 charter amendments with one vote. But then what you're doing is you're muddying the topic that you really want.
Right.
Or somebody might say, hey, I don't mind our city administrator living in the zip code. But if I vote yes on that, then I'm also saying council can do whatever they want outside of the charter, and you might
Right.
lose a voter
Yeah.
too.
right.
Well, I was talking about it as a separate issue, not as,
Oh,
not as a
yes,
combined
and
issue.
we could do a second, there can be a second
But we
ballot,
gotta pay twice.
but we would have to pay additional for a second ballot title.
So, I mean, if there's something that you felt we could
No,
do,
I
just
just,
like
we had talked about it at one time.
Well,
we have to make a decision before.
So I need to have this turned into the county, there's a March deadline. But I also have to have a challenge in all that process before I submit it for the ballot. I think if you look at the last amendment Roseburg did, I think one of their amendments was to allow freedom of council.
And it's also something that could be pushed off to the November.
We don't pay for November,
Right, it could be pushed off to the November election.
it's just normal.
Yeah, we missed this, then we're talking about now, about what, 2 weeks? It could have been on the last November ballot, it would have been a deal. So we don't wanna muddy the waters on that either.
And we can definitely take to discuss that again.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's even necessary. I mean, how often has this come up? Where council needs to have discretion. Not very often, but
Probably 3 or 4 times in the last 25 years.
so, yeah, there's no point to give the council so much power to be able to do something. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right. City administrator report.
So I had a grant opportunity to put in a boat ramp. Would you guys be interested in us trying to get that?
On the deal with dump site or off of Western, where would it be?
I was thinking either we go down to the bottom of Fourth, across the railroad tracks and go under the bridge, or you could go out to the old dump site. I think it would have to be on our property. I don't know if we could put it out on the railroad property, like a trestle.
the trestle is a natural boat ramp right now. They can launch but I'd like to work on that at some point. And I know that they've tried to do a boat ramp down here that was gonna cost millions of dollars. And we've got the natural one right the way. And there's only so many places they can go once they put a boat in down there. So how much is the grant? And how much would we put in?
I think it was a 25% match on the grant.
Yeah, because that costs a lot of money. You've got to, you also have to deal with the railroad to get across there too.
If we did at the bottom of Fourth.
Right. It's the same kettle
Yeah.
But
Yes.
how many people go past the trestle and go down to, is it Boomer Hill? Come pull out at Boomer
There's a
Hill.
lot of people.
There's a lot of
pull
people
down
that go
the road
in.
property
Yeah.
on deal dump. That would be a good one.
and you still have to cross. No,
No.
there you wouldn't have to
No,
cross.
no.
So that would be a potential.
So I guess what you're asking is if we wanted you to apply for the grant. So, where it goes, we can make the decision on where we want to put it later, right?
It's to be a point, so it's. Doesn't hurt to apply.
Yeah,
Our street's going good. These guys have been really busting their butts. I think they're about halfway done getting all the water services underneath where the new asphalt's gonna be next summer replaced. And.
Stumpy, I think you had a question, do we ever get the ditch lines squared away? Didn't you have
Yeah.
questions on the ditch lines?
Is
for
that,
driveways?
will it? Where the existing ditch lines are that aren't necessarily a ditch anymore, will it expand over that or?
I don't think it's gonna get much wider.
Okay,
I think it's gonna stay pretty much the same width. It's just gonna be new asphalt. You're gonna have all the bad spots.
it's okay, I back out into a pothole every day, so.
And then our waterfront upgrade line started coming in last 2 weeks. I think all the pieces, everything but the generator air compressors are there. And they've started, and guys are really going after it, they're getting pieces and parts set. I think they're ready to pour concrete, waiting on some rebar for their pads and. That should get them going. Pretty quick. Not pretty good to me.
Do you have any update on the golf course?
That has been a silence from everybody on that one.
There was a made that. I'll probably will find out more about it this week. I know,
You said there's a January 4th or 5th song.
January 2nd, something happened. So I don't know an update though.
Nobody's ever come in to talk to us.
I know, because you had to wait till second. Legal issues.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him this week and see if when he will be able to come in, other things that have happened.
Starting to think he's afraid of us.
I think you'll understand when he comes in. Yeah. Any other questions for Zach?
Somebody's driving for electric car.
Pretty much all we got left.
I heard it take off the last time. You what?
Pretty much all we got left.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got Lily Yard, the new public works superintendent. He took the truck I was driving. And then the guys that been using the little silver car for running back, well, Steve, when Steve was still here, he was the guy, the sewer plant had the silver car. And then Steve took the van and then was running around in that, so.
So you're having us loaded in the spaceship.
Are you taking that from? No, I'm not. Why not? I don't see a plan. I don't see where the citizens need to provide me with the right to and from work.
Part of the administrator contract. To have a vehicle.
Yeah, there you go, that. I'm sure. As long as you can make it back for. Lucky.
Think it would be dry, okay?
Hey, the gas prices are going down so much, it's gonna cost you 5 times as much to drive an electric vehicle.
This week.
No, this week.
You never know.
Down to 2.18 a gallon in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I was just.
What you just there? What'd you pay up north in Arizona there?
270.
From what I've seen, it doesn't take anything for them to have an excuse to raise it back up. So enjoy it.
So when do you ever see electric costs go down? You know, they just keep
Any
going
of
up
them.
and up and up and up and up. You know?
You don't.
Well,
see
actually,
any of them.
Pacific,
Coming.
ABC just approved a decrease in Pacific Corp's bill for consumers as of, effective as of January 1st.
There'll be like an average $1.
Yeah, I don't know what it
I
is.
read something, it was like an average $1.
Yeah, I didn't.
All right, let's move on. Counselor comments. Bob.
Just looking forward to the new year. We're getting going here. Hopefully, we're on the right track now.
Jamie.
Congratulations, Zach, and we'll look forward to spending more time with you.
Kathy.
Congratulations. Yeah. Streetlights, how are those going?
I haven't heard anything. I submitted where we wanted them, and I think those sites got approved. And then I think the lady who was working on it retired. And now they are back to one person that's out there doing estimating, and I don't know where, I haven't heard anything from them since.
Have they put one on Johnson? It seems like she said there's one on Johnson, but it's in the 700 block. Nobody knows.
I don't
Well,
think.
did they put the one at Springbrook, North Mortal? Did they just go look at the pole to see what needed to be done? 'Cause I know they were out there.
They went out there and they were assessing whether they could go there, from what I understand. And she said they were all good spots. But I think since she's retired and now they're back to one estimator, and I don't know, haven't heard anything.
So who is that she's retired from?
What do you mean now? My neighbor was filled with retirees.
Yeah, it's a retirement community up there.
Well, hopefully they'll hire somebody and they'll communicate something.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay,
You know, you think if we're willing to pay them, they should get it done.
yeah, exactly.
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything to do. All right, we're adjourned, 7:20.
I don't care if it's whether,